Will the clerk please call calendar 287?
On page 9, calendar 287, favorable report of the Joint Standing Committee on Environment. Substitute House Bill 5027, an act prohibiting the sale of dogs and cats obtained from substandard domestic animal mills and requiring a standard of care applicable to animal importers.
In 1997, Ted Lovegrove was the senator for Fairfield, and that there was a truck that's crashed on I-95, a big tractor-trailer truck, and in that tractor-trailer truck were cages stacked from ceiling to floor, front to back, with 93 puppies in it, coming from out of state from a substandard animal mill. And the only reason anyone found out about it is because it crashed. In that truck, the back of this truck, were small little puppies that were even younger than 8 weeks old. They were all jammed in cages. There were no water. There was feces everywhere, and many of them were already sick. The Humane Society seized those puppies because they were sick. We wouldn't have really known about puppy mills if, in fact, this truck did not crash on I-95. Senator Lovegrove introduced a bill back in 1997, and as did Senator McKinney, who took over for him many years. And it's taken this long for people to really take a look at puppy mills. And I know that many people think that it's sort of an animal issue, it's a feel-good issue. But actually, if you really look at what's going on at these mills, you would be disgusted. And you wouldn't want to have a dog come from there. And if you saw the way that these breeding dogs were treated, you wouldn't want a puppy from one of them, because it's just simply inhumane.
I just want to thank Representative Kupchik for all the work that she's done on this bill. I know that she's been working since the beginning of session, and even prior to that, studying this issue and doing whatever she can to craft a bill that strikes at the heart of animal cruelty. It's very well publicized that many puppy mills here and across the country in breeding animals are extremely cruel to them, keeping them in cages without the proper food, nutrition, veterinary care, and exercise. And I think this task force is extremely important to study this very significant issue so we can properly legislate on this in the future, and we can address the issue of this continuing animal cruelty. So again, thank you to Representative Kupchik and the Environment Committee for supporting this
Mr. Speaker,
bill.
thank you. Just very briefly, I also want to thank Representative Kupchik and Senator McKinney and everyone who worked on this. I was a co-sponsor of the original underlying bill. I still would have loved to see it, but this is a great start. I'm glad we have it, and I hope that it will lead to an action plan as it comes to fruition. So I stand in very strong support of the bill and hope it passes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank some folks, including Representative Kupchik, not so much for bringing the bill forward, but opening my eyes to something that I hadn't seen before. Like anybody, I like pets, I like animals, but it wasn't until I was approached about this bill coming that I started doing a little more research, and I learned a lot from the ASPCA, from different animal organizations, and it really opened my eyes to something I hadn't seen before. So for that, I thank you. And I support the bill.
Well, the House and members, please take your seats. See, reopen.
The House of Representatives is voting by roll. The House of Representatives is voting by roll.
Will the clerk please announce the tally?
Substitute House Bill 5027 as amended by House A. Total number voting 139, necessary for passage 70. Those voting yea 137. Those voting nay 2. Absent not voting 11.
Bill as amendment passes.